Look around you. What do you see? Do you see a normal residential street? So do I. But do you see the dangers inherent within this street, within this urban setting? I do. But I also see the means to survive within this danger. Come with me now as I show you how to survive in such an urban environment. A lot of people have asked me over the years, what is the key to survival? And I say to those people that that's a very simplistic and dangerous and frankly quite obnoxious way of looking at this quite heavy, weighty subject. There aren't simply, or should I say there isn't, one key to success in terms of survival. There are many keys, a set of keys if you will, much like the keys I have here in my bucket. And you'll see that I have many keys here. The key to survival, yes, but there are also another key. Once you use that key, the key to survival in an urban context, there might be another key to use, but also other keys. I'll explain the rest of the survival key system in the full feature-length 4-hour DVD that will be available from my website. I think we're pretty lucky in that as far as urban settings go, there's not too much danger around here, but still you really should be aware of any potential dangers that are about to strike. Are you ready? Are you? Are you ready? Good. Okay, good. Right, foraging. Okay, so foraging is one of, if not the, most key aspects of survival skills. Now, basically, for the layperson, foraging is essentially finding things. So you just look around and find foodstuffs hidden around, and believe you me, they are around. For instance, if you just take a look down here, I found a couple of recycling bins outside somebody's house. Now, they're finished with all these bottles, and I can assure you there's a lot of treats in here. Here's a real treat. This is a very good tip for anyone who's foraging in kind of unseen-to bins. Is this Boost energy drink. Not only is there a lot of water here that's very good for you, but there's a lot of sugar in here as well, and that'll really give you the energy that you need to help you forage further or go on to do some other basic survival skills. So just have a little shot of this here. Yeah, that's what we have here is a child's smoothie. It's a fruit-based drink, which is not only, again, a great source of liquid and sustenance, but also gives you 3 of your 5 a day, which is a real boon to any urban survivalist. So I think this should be pretty good. I'm just going to try a little bit of this. It really is an important point to remember that you can survive for a number of days without eating any food, but enough hours without drinking any water, and you're a dead man. You will die. You're gonna die. You're a dead man. And it really is interesting. Time to go. Okay, so my foraging skills have already paid dividends, and if you just look here, I found some pretty tasty looking fruits here. I think those might be a schnozberry of some kind, but I wouldn't actually eat those. I mean, we're survivors, but we can still be discerning. What I'd do is I'd go down to the Waitrose about half a mile down the road and get some fresh ones. You really just don't know what's been on those. When the danger signs are all around, then the most valuable asset that you can have to protect yourself is your appearance. You may or may not have noticed that my appearance is quite different to the traditional survival outfits that you might have seen from people like Ray Mears or Bear Grylls. And that's because we're in an urban setting, and so I've adapted my appearance to be more urban. And that really is a safety technique in order to help me blend in with my surroundings and avoid potential predators. Whereas in the wild, in rural settings, rural environments, you may face predators such as cows, foxes, and stinging nettles. In an urban environment, you really face one predator, but that one predator is the most deadly predator of them all, and that is your fellow man. Okay, so if it's at all possible, you really want to avoid confrontation. And so, in order to do that, if you see a potential predator, then that would be your fellow man. Then initially give them a simple nod as to assess whether they are a friend or foe. So it's a simple nod. Then, if you've assessed whether they are indeed a friend or foe, if they are a foe, then move to step 2, which is the stare. Okay, so let's recap at this stage. Initially, nod, and then stare. Nod, stare. It's a nod, and then a stare. Okay, so nod, and if they are a foe, then stare. Okay, so if the stare isn't intimidating enough, and in rare instances it won't be, then it's time to unleash the raw power, if you will, of the roar. Believe it or not, sometimes the raw power of the roar isn't enough to put off the most hardy of assailants. They might have the wherewithal to endure the mighty sounds, and it wouldn't confuse them so much. And in that instance, then I would implore you to use this simple tip, which is to use the environment and don't let it use you. So let's just have a look around and see what's in the environment that we can use. So just as an example here, if I were to look around and see what is at my disposal, I would instantly see some glass. There's some broken glass down here, and you could potentially throw your assailant into this glass, which might cut them on the face and or up the thigh. There is also some wood here. I'm not going to touch this wood. It's probably got some quite big splinters in it, and it's probably quite dirty, but you could strike somebody over the top with said wood. Or you could try some loose tarmac here. Use this bit of plastic to spear your assailant. Okay, now, so I've armed you with the key skills that you need in order to help you survive in any confrontational situations. And just the final point here, really, just to summarise, is the fact that you should always stand your ground. You're always in the position of strength. If you stand strong and let your opponent know you are the strong one, then you can... Oi! Come here! Come here! Oi! Okay then, well, just to append to what I was saying earlier, I really do think that those tenets for basic self-defence are good and true, but that was an extreme circumstance, a rather extreme circumstance. A guy who we'd had a mix-up about his recycling bin earlier. And flight, it really is fine. To run away from the scene in rare instances such as that is absolutely fine. He who runs and flies away he who ups and runs the course will... He who runs and flees the scene will always be the true man. The one to run is to survive is to flee sometimes, flee is to flourish. To flee is not necessarily to admit defeat. To flee is to survive, and to survive is to flourish, and to flourish is... Basically, it's fine to run. Just, you know, if you're really worried, then just run, that's fine. If you've learnt anything today, I hope it's that sustenance is all around you, but so is danger. Danger lurks everywhere. But I also hope that I've taught you through my simple step-by-step steps how to deal with that danger and how to survive. I'm Colin Hammer. Check out my website. That's www.colinhammer.net/html.com. Okay, or check out my MySpace and do subscribe to the videos. Next week I'll be teaching you about hygiene, urban hygiene in a survival environment.